It's Iron Bowl week. Can Auburn take down the Alabama Crimson Tide Saturday in Tuscaloosa? Strap it on.
You are now listening to the War Report. Drop.
Your boy Mike G here with my guy Charlie 5 to talk a little bit about Auburn football. Charlie, big win on Saturday versus Texas A&M. Season-saving win, I might say. Auburn's version of season-saving. Before we get into it, man, your thoughts on the game on Saturday?
Man, it was therapeutic, wasn't it? Felt like we exercised some demons. It was something that I felt like everybody needed. You know, I know I've seen people talk about rushing the field and, oh, you should be embarrassed and this. It's like, nah, y'all haven't lived you haven't lived this. Like Auburn's been through a really dark period and you've been right there a bunch of times and haven't been able to just get it done. And you finally get it done. I mean, I just think that was like the most natural reaction. And then, hey, the recruits are the one that went out on the field first. They ran out first. So
they did.
They started the whole thing, but it just felt good, man, to get over the hump a little bit.
It's not every day that you get to rush a field. And I'll tell you, the first time I did it was 2001 as a student. Auburn had taken down Steve Spurrier's #1 Florida Gators. Damon Duval kicked a 48-yarder, hooked it into the wind, Charlie, to get the win. Since then, I know Auburn did it in 2013, kick 6, 2017 Iron Bowl at home, and 2019. Of all those, I hate 2019 the most. But look, man, they did it on Saturday. I thought it was worth it. I got caught out there in the middle. But look, Hugh Freeze addressed the media today, and he talked a little bit about this past Saturday, again, kind of still reveling in the win, and a little bit about this coming Saturday up in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to get started with a clip that he had about all the freshmen that they played. Here's what Hugh Freeze had to say about playing his young freshmen.
Enormous. I see it every week. I mean, the improvement that Malik blocked on Morris Williams, Riddick, Jay Crawford, Kinley Falston. I mean, they're getting better and better each week. And offensively, I think, our receivers were talented and good, but they're starting to learn how to play the game better and understand some coverages and depths of routes. And, so it's certainly I've seen the growth, and they are getting better, and hopefully we'll continue to improve this week.
I'm going to take a victory lap, Charlie. In the offseason, I told everybody that I felt like of all these much heralded freshmen, I thought DeMarcus Riddick was very underrated and being overlooked. He has been an absolute game changer the last few weeks out on the field, along with the other freshmen, not taking anything away from any of the other ones. But, man, DeMarcus Riddick has really stood out to me.
Well, to be able to put him on the field and do what they're able to do with mobile quarterbacks has really changed the way this defense looks. I mean, think about all the ones that we faced and how we've sort of been able to, kind of contain them and make them sort of feel uncomfortable. And a lot of that has to do with DeMarcus Riddick. He's been a huge surprise. I mean, it's not a surprise to you. It's a surprise to me only because I feel like he's playing a different position than what I expected him to play. And he's excelling, man. He's really, really good, and he's going to be good for a long time. And hey, he's feeling himself. He's feeling himself a little bit. He kind of let his they gave him the mic today.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it. Look, these young freshmen are going to play a role in how this Iron Bowl plays out. I tweeted this out on Saturday. I don't know if you saw it, but Cam Coleman reminding everyone he decommitted from Texas A&M this summer and then torched them for 128 yards and 2 TDs. So he was literally the difference between that team winning and losing that game on Saturday. So, look, Ryan Williams would be on the other side of the field. DeMarcus Riddick is going to try to assert his presence over this game in Tuscaloosa. Both teams want this Iron Bowl really, really bad. I like the role that the freshmen are going to play in this. Speaking of freshmen, there were a lot of recruits at the game, and he was asked about, the impact that sort of environment has on recruits. Here's what he had to say about recruiting.
That's the one thing I miss about not being on the Twitter world and stuff is I don't get to see all of that, and I really don't know what's going on. But the ones I had conversations with after the game were all incredible, and then continuing into yesterday with some of the official visits. And, I think it certainly helped our cause of showing this is what Auburn can be again, and you can beat top 12 teams or whatever they're ranked, and that's a team that's playing to go to the SEC championship game, and I think they've noticed all the close losses, but now they get to see not only what the Auburn fan base is like and the support we have and the energy that we have, and I think they see too probably the best testimony is just the locker room. Look at our kids, and that they continue to fight and they continue to stay together and continue to care, and that's a culture that I think some of these 25 class guys kind of are drawn to. And I'm not saying we're the only ones that have that, but that's another thing for sure that I think they're noticing.
This team has not quit on this coaching staff. Despite disappointing results on the field, they played hard. We implored Auburn fans earlier last week to show up for the players because, look, man, they have shown up every single week, I think. I put a lot of this result more on the coaches than I do on the players. Recruits were there. They got to see what that environment was like on Saturday for a sub-500 football team. This was big.
Totally. I don't know if you feel like this the way I do, but I feel like a lot of these guys, it's just they've been yearning for Auburn to show them something.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that moment. Just show me. I believe. I have a lot of faith. I want to be a part of it, but just show me something and seal the deal. And Auburn's been so close so many times this season to doing that in like a great environment with recruits in the stands, and they haven't been able to do it. And I think this game helped solidify some commitments that maybe have been on the fence. And I also think it really put Auburn into the driver's seat to finish his class off strong with a bang with guys like Usman Kroma and Naheem Offord, who's obviously the bell cow of the class, the number one player in the state of Alabama. So I don't know if you felt that way, but it seems like a lot of these guys have just been like, man, just show me. All I need is one. Just show me something, and I think I'm ready.
Remember we were waiting on Deuce's commitment. It felt like he was waiting on a win to commit, and they just wouldn't win. And so finally, he was like, F it. I'll just commit anyway. Well, those guys were very, very loud on social media about Naheem Offord's potential flip. They feel good about it. So I know Hugh Freeze must feel good about it. And getting these last two wins will go a long way, I think, to securing the commitment of high-level kids like Offord. Again, you're talking about a guy who's in the top 5 in next year's class. I mean,
well, he's a 5-star on every he's a consensus 5-star on every site. He's the number 1 player in the state of Alabama. Like, you just don't, and you have an opportunity to get the number 1 player in the state of Alabama in back-to-back years. I think that's something that's big stuff.
Big. You get these top 5, top 10 guys in all of high school football. They're going to come in. They're going to make a difference. Speaking of making a difference, explosive plays have made a difference this year for Auburn. As much as they struggled to score points, the explosive plays have been there. I asked Hugh Freeze about how you continue to do that on Saturday versus Alabama. Here's what he had to say. Alabama.
Yeah, it's film study, and you got to have good designs. And they've got to be called at the right time against the right defense. That's not always the easiest thing. I mean, you can have some that are, have a chance to work against multiple things, but usually the biggest ones need to be called against the right coverages at the right time without pressure maybe, or, and all of those are sometimes a guessing game. But I think we do have, a knack for having good designs for some. And we'll need those to go multiple drives. You're not going to just drive the football 75 yards every time without some explosive plays. So that'll be a big part of winning there in Tuscaloosa on Saturday.
Call the right plays at the right time. Hugh, I love this answer. Of all the answers we've ever gotten, I think this is my favorite. This is accountability. This is the coaching staff saying, we got to call this one correctly for our guys to have a chance.
Oh, totally. And he's mentioned something that I've mentioned a ton. And this offense is not built to go 10, 12, 14 play drives. Like they got to have the explosive plays. To me, the times that the offense has looked the worst is when we've tried to do the ball control, the dink and dunk, the protect the ball, don't turn it over. And that's just, to me, it just bogs everything down, makes it really predictable, makes it hard on the offensive line, makes it hard on the running backs. The balance was there, the unpredictability was there, and it allows them to be able to dial up these big plays to Cam Coleman, who's healthy now, who I've said, they say typically you can't call a freshman becomes a sophomore towards the end of the year. Well, he's not a sophomore. He's going from a freshman to a force. He's going to change the trajectory of this program, and he's starting to emerge, and you can see the confidence on him, and those big plays are a big part of that.
A big part of winning next week will be stopping Jalen Milroe. Now, Oklahoma has the formula on that apparently because they took an ass whooping in Norman. Hopefully Auburn can deal one more out in Tuscaloosa. But here's what Hugh Freeze had to say about game planning defensively against Jalen Milroe.
You look at the good. That's what he's capable of. I hope we get the lesser than version, but in a game like this, I would think, I don't know him personally, but everything you see, he's made of the right stuff, and he competes at a high level in some of the biggest games, and I would think he'd be determined to bounce back. And so I think we've got a plan to get his best, and I feel confident they'll use him as a runner. That's when they've been the most dangerous, and we've got to have a plan for that.
Look, Milroe has been up and down. He started the season as a fringe Heisman candidate, Kyle. And at the end of the day, he can be got. This is not Nick Saban's Alabama. I know it's Nick Saban Field. That was their last-ditch attempt to hold on to the aura of Nick Saban in this game. But I told everyone on Feinbaum, Kalen DeBoer is not Nick Saban. Alabama fans were up in arms. Now they're maybe staring at 4 losses in the first year of the Kalen DeBoer era. What do you see Auburn doing, what Durkin doing with Milroe here?
So where Alabama struggles, in my opinion, is they don't let Jalen be Jalen. They want Jalen to be something that he's not. And what Auburn has to do Saturday is not let Jalen be Jalen. What you did with Marcel Reed, you kept him in the pocket, but Marcel Reed is a very talented passer, whereas I think that's some of the areas that Jalen may struggle. So if you can, honestly, you look at the same Texas A&M game plan and you can keep him corralled a little bit, I think that's where he struggles. Yeah. So what can Alabama do to get him out on the edge, get him more involved in the running game, kind of keep Auburn off balance? Don't let Jalen be Jalen. And that's whenever he's the most dangerous. That's what Hugh's saying. When he's in the dedicated to the run game, he's a part of the run game. That's when Jalen is the most dangerous. So can Auburn sort of just keep him uncomfortable, keep him from being able to beat Auburn with his legs? Because I think that's what they're going to try to do.
On the other side of the field, there's a quarterback that has to play well. Zach Blackerby, our good friend, asked me, who's your breakout player? He picked Cam Coleman. I said it's got to be Payton Thorne because Cam can't break out without Peyton having a great game. I thought he did that on Saturday. He's going to need to do it one more Saturday. But I asked Hugh Freeze about his relationship with Peyton and all that they've gone through together since he brought him here to be the quarterback. And here's what he had to say.
It's funny you ask that. Most of our conversations now are, there'll be some ball talk, obviously, in the meetings and stuff, but most of it's been about just the mental toughness that he and I have kind of endured together to get through a lot of things that he could have gone a lot of different directions, and credit to him and his makeup and his determination and mental toughness to not let other people define him, and to continue to go to work and get better and improve and help others around him improve. And So most of our talks have just been about that, and it was some relief for he and I both to see him. I mean, he's really played well in a lot of games since the Cal game, and he just hadn't gotten the results for one reason or the other.
Look, Payton Thorne has one more game, potentially two if he wins this one, as an Auburn Tiger. And, he talked about what they've endured together to get to this point. If they can endure on Saturday, he can leave his mark on Auburn football. What do you want to see from Payton on Saturday?
I mean, I want to see more of the same. I want to see he continues to play fearless. And he played. Maybe it was the mustache. He played with a sense of confidence. He played with a sense of confidence Saturday. That was something that he's never been scared. I feel like he's always been able, like, not he'll sacrifice his body, but he just seemed confident whenever he would stand up and rip the ball. He just felt confident that dudes were going to be there to make plays. And I want to see. More of that. He's going to have to be involved in the run game. Alabama's vulnerable when there's some type of misdirection or option aspect to with the quarterback run game. I think that's going to be something that's going to have to be heavily involved. And we're just going to need one more game where he can hang in there. I said this, and tell me what you think about this. I think that after that game, after Texas A&M, a lot of people, we watch games and you watch it with a little bit of a narrative. And when people are have been turned off on Payton Thorne, then he can't do anything right, even when he does something right. His ball is too high, that was the completion, or his touchdown was too low, that was so it's always somewhat of a narrative. I feel like after that game, I think everybody's going to watch this game Saturday just pull for Auburn to win. There's not going to be any. I don't feel like there's going to be any narratives, any motives. It's just going to be, go get it, Peyton. We're behind you, and it just is what we know. We know you're going to give it everything you got. And I think for the most part, he united everybody with his play on Saturday, so much so that I think you're going to go into this game without any agendas. I feel like I could be wrong, but I think that's what it's going to be.
His legs, I would argue, saved the game on that last drive when he scrambled up the middle of fourth down. Totally. After the game, when they came out of the locker room, this is the first time all season Payton Thorne has come out of the locker room still in pads and cleats. He was smiling from ear to ear. He gave me a very uncomfortable football pad hug. And contrary to popular belief in all the Twitter sphere and the forums, Peyton and I actually have a great relationship. I've been pulling for him all season. We have to be critical at times when he does things that we should be critical of. But ultimately, I was very happy to see the joy that he had on his face Saturday. Look, man, I thought he played well. I heard a lot of familiar groans when he threw the interception that was deflected, but he played well. He played well on Saturday, and he gave Auburn a chance to win. And give him credit, man. On that final drive, he made the passes that he needed to make, and he made the pass to Keandre Lambert-Smith in the end zone to win the game. I think he played well. We just need one more from him. I don't know that all will be forgiven over the last 2 years, but I think that how he's remembered as an Auburn Tiger will be about how he plays on Saturday, and I think he wants to change that narrative.
I agree 100%.
Kyle, before we get out of here, give me a prediction for Saturday. Who wins and why?
Oh gosh, well, I can't pick against Auburn, which makes it really tough. But I was so off on the last game. I hate to even give a prediction because everything went opposite of what I said. But it does feel like this game will be sort of like in the mid to upper 20s. I think it'll be close. I think Auburn will cover, and I don't really know how it ends, but I would say hopefully Auburn can pull it out by at least 3 points, something like that, maybe tied, and then Vashon gets his swan song and it puts the Birmingham Southern legacy away and cements himself in Auburn Tiger lore as he hits a walk-off field goal or something like that.
Listen, man, I love it. Look, I'm going Auburn 31, Alabama 21. I like Auburn in this one. I think that they want it. I think Auburn wants this more. And I think that Alabama is sliding at the wrong time. So, we'll see where they end up. But look, you ended up here on the Auburn Express powered by the War Report. This is the morning drop. Before we get out of here, Kyle, tell people where they can find you.
Absolutely. You can find me at thebarnauburn.com for $1, guys. You can get through signing day. You can get in deep into the portal. It's the best investment you can possibly have for only $1 for your first month. That goes a long way, especially at this point in time. So definitely take advantage, get the most bang for your buck, no pun intended, or maybe pun totally intended. Get the recruiting scoops, portal scoops, all that good stuff. And then obviously you can subscribe to thebarnauburn.com and you can catch my podcast every single day.
Speaking of bang for your buck, this episode of the War Report is brought to you by our friends at Joy Mode. Visit tryjoymode.com and use code REPORT to get 20% off plus free shipping. I don't know how you celebrated, Kyle, but I celebrated the game in unique fashion, and Joy Mode had me covered. So the game may start at 6, but when you take Joy Mode, it'll be midnight real quick. Tryjoymode.com. Use code REPORT for 20% off free shipping. After you're done with that, you may be hungry, so visit our friends at Los Amigos Restaurant. They're at 1220 Fox Run Ave in Suite 200, Opelika, Alabama. If you're in the Auburn Opelika area and you're looking for some good eats, Los Amigos Restaurant has you covered. A great food, great community, also a great place to watch the game. You know what I love the most about walking into a restaurant is seeing that they have 100 on their health score when you walk in. Puts me at ease. Los Amigos Restaurants, great sponsors of the War Report. And of course, our title sponsor, Rogue Shop. Visit rogueshop.com and use code REPORT to get 15% off your Rogue Shop order. Pain, sleep, stress, anxiety, whatever ails you in life, or on Saturday, Rogue Shop has you covered. So if the Iron Bowl blues get you down, visit the Rogue Shop, and they'll take care of you. We'll be back at you guys tomorrow with the Auburn Express, powered by the War Report. We'll see. We're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.
Drop!